Is all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, this is Shabai from the GMS in Colorado. And I'm going to go in on a chapter, 2 Timothy, the 2 Timothy, the second chapter. All right. And starting at the top, it says, Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahushua HaMashiach, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. And I bring this verse up quite a bit. We're supposed to commit ourselves to faithful men who are able to teach others also. If you're sitting there teaching somebody and they can't get it, or they don't see it, they don't understand the truth, then just move on from that person. They're not of the elect. All right, the elect are going to hear this truth and they're going to hearken, and they're going to put on that they're going to put on that diligence to be the elect. Right. So you got to commit yourselves to faithful men. More specifically, really the servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the ones who are set up and ordained to teach. These are those faithful men. These are the ones who watch our videos with sincerity. These are the ones who go to the camps. These are the ones who are the hopeful elect, the hopeful 144,000. Verse 3, Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach. Right, and the word hardness, right, that's what you can goes hand in hand with edification. All right, to edify it means to be made hard, or to build, right? And that's what we're doing. We're building through the Spirit, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is building this third temple. It's made up of men, right? The tabernacle of Yahweh is men. Let's get that real quick. It says, And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. All right? And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power, be their Most High. Right? So the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men. All right? 2 Timothy 2. 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Right, so at the end of the day, the elect, what does that word mean? It means chosen. Literally, the word elect means chosen. So if we are those men, we're really, and this is it's something you learn and you grow in as you get experience in this. But you don't entangle yourself with affairs of this life. And when you do, you start to realize that it's really vanity. It's pointless. You read the book of Ecclesiastes, and the King Solomon, at the end of the day, he came to the conclusion that everything was pointless. Everything was vanity. The only thing that was profitable was the truth. Right? There's this balance, to this thing of ours, but you don't want to have too much time in the flesh, but rather in the spirit. Balance, if anything. The minute you go off balance is when you start to go off. All right, verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and Yahweh give thee understanding in all things, And that's what it is, Yahweh he's the one who gives us these understanding. He's the one who gives us the ability to break down a parable, to break down a dark saying, to break down a dark sentence, right? And he says, consider what I say, because you got to consider what's been written, Verse 8, remember that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach of the seed of David, who was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffered trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds, but the word of the Most High is not bound. Wherein I suffer trouble, I'm on 10. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. Right, so we going through this. We're going through the experiences. We're going through the trials, the tribulations. Doing the work. It's for the elect's sake. You see? Because how else? What's a better situation than to be able to teach something unless you're going through it, When you go through things, then you're able to teach. When you have experience, you're able to teach, right? You're not going to learn for somebody who hasn't been through it, who hasn't faced trials or tribulations. How are they going to be able to teach the elect? If you're not diligent, like for example, the elders, they've been doing this thing for a while now. So they've been through the different experiences. They've been through even an example of when they were the elders were they were among their elders, and they had women in the congregation, right? And that thing, our elders, our current elders, they saw through experience the problems that brought to the congregation. So they just all together eliminated that. And so, they have that experience. They've endured. And they endure for the elect's sake, because now here we are, and we don't have to go through those same type of tribulations and trials that, they already have kind of sifted out of the congregation, And I'm not saying, you can, if you have a woman, you can teach your woman or whatever, if she asks you the questions. But, we know through our elders' experience that it's better for the women to be, outside of the congregation. You don't want them to be among the brotherhood, or, obviously they're not fit to be teaching on the street corners, Well, let's get to verse 11. It says, it is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. Right. Because we literally, we take on the persona of our model, Yahweh Shai. Right? We're in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. We know, according to prophecy, we're going to be persecuted just like he was persecuted. Right? Verse 12, if we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he will also deny us. And that says what it says, right? We're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, so long as we partake in the same sufferings and the same trials and tribulations that Yahweh Shai dealt with for his testimony. Now we're going to be in the same boat as he was, because we're suffering because of our testimonies. You see, you lose family members, you lose so-called friends, you lose, you could even lose your job, you could lose your woman, all because of this knowledge and this truth. It's, this truth has a ability to filter out, like we say, like it's written, the dross, the things that are not necessary, right? You do the work, and your woman might get offended. She might watch you on the videos. She might watch you at the camp, and then she get upset because she sees a woman coming up to the camp asking questions. Your woman's a jealous woman, and eventually, she'll leave you because she doesn't trust you or whatever. That's just one example. But this truth, it'll filter out the things. It'll get rid of the dross, get rid of the things that are not necessary. All right. Verse 14. Of those things, put them in remembrance, charging them before Yahweh that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Right, and we bring this up a lot. This verse, part of what it says right here: study to show thyself approved. Right, brothers, in this truth, man, you have to be studying. You have to be every day reading. Every day doing a lesson. You're not going to be approved. And what's the approval at the end of the day come from? It comes from Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. If you're not diligent and you're not on fire for this truth, well, guess what? You're not going to be approved at the end of the day. The Lord Yahweh Shai going to spew you out the mouth. All right, let's get that real quick. You got brothers or men who are lukewarm in this truth, and they're gonna fizzle out. They're not gonna endure. They're not gonna be qualified. They're not gonna be approved, like we're reading here. Let me see. So look for this verse. All right, where's the other phone? This other phone I have is kind of useless. It's so slow. Let me see. Yeah, brothers, you got to be on fire, especially the times we're in right now. You got to be on fire for this truth. Let's see what it says about being lukewarm. Revelation 3:16. So then, because thou art lukewarm, let me see if I can go up one. Yeah, let's verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Meaning, I wish you were either cold or hot. Meaning, be a part of this thing or don't be a part of it. Don't be lukewarm when you're just casually, you're a casual prophet, you're a fair weather prophet, And you got to be. Yahweh Shai says, I'd rather you be cold than be a casual or lukewarm prophet. Verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. See that? And the mouth is what? It's the prophets. We're the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So if you're not studying and showing yourself approved, and you're just lukewarm, you do one video a week, or you miss camp here and there, you're like, you miss camp for some bullshit reason, then guess what? You're going to be denied at the end of the day. You might know the name. You might have ability to pull out precepts, but you're over here being lukewarm, Well, guess what? The mouth, you're gonna get spewed out the mouth. You're gonna get spewed out the brotherhood. Yahweh Shai can't use Yahweh Bashem Yahushai cannot use a lukewarm man in this truth. All right. 2 Timothy 2. Where we at? And 16. It says, but shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. Yeah, so it's better to be quiet in a lot of settings than to sit there and talk. Like if you're at work And you know how the co-workers in this world, they're a bunch of heathen. They're going to be talking about some filthy shit, some vanity, some useless things, you know. And even their jokes are you know, in bad taste the majority of the time. So you're better off just, you know, not even entertaining those type of conversations. It says in verse 17, and their word will eat as doth a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Right, and you have men who go off, you know, they're already spewed out the mouth spiritually. And then, like, you got, like, for instance, this is like a good example of this is like the IUIC. They'll tell you that the micro C hip is or the mark of the I'm sorry, they'll say the mark of the beast is you know, sleeping with white women, or it's sin, right? And that's kind of what this is. They err in the truth. They err. They're not saying sound doctrine. So then causes other people, other Israelites, to go off in the faith. Really, when that's all, everything's preordained. So it's if that happens, it was you know, predestinated, preordained by Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai. So, you know, that's okay, because that's what it is. But, you know, the point is you have false prophets out there that are not teaching sound doctrine. All right, verse 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure, having this seal: Yahweh knoweth them that are his, and let every one that nameth the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach depart from iniquity. Right, so like I said, everything's preordained. Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai knows the ones that are Yahweh's, right? He knows his sheep, and they know him, right? We know him. We hear the voice, we follow, right? As it is written. Verse 20. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor. Right, so the Israelites, they're not all, because the house of Yahweh is Israel. And some, you're going to have the elect, which are that gold and silver, the men being the gold, those women being the silver. Then you're going to have the wood and the earth, which are, that's going into like that clay. I think it's in, it's in the Apocrypha, where it talks about the gold is it's compared to the let me see if I can grab it real quick. I think it's an okay. Let me see. Let me try to take a guess here, because I can't remember which book it's in. I think it's 2nd Ezra's 8. Yeah, this is it. So here's that gold that we're reading about in 2 Timothy 2, because in verse 20, let me read it out of my Bible. It says, but in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also some of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor. Right? So now we read in 2nd Ezra 8, it says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold, whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. And that's that, how in the household, the gold is that like it says right here, but little dust that gold cometh out of, right? But there's an abundance of clay, right? In the earth, that's what the earth is, clay. So the majority, even of the house, which are the 2/3, are likened unto that clay, and the elect are likened unto the gold, which is more of a smaller amount, smaller number, right? And it tells you right there in verse 3, there be many created, but few shall be saved, right? The elect are going to be the ones that are saved. And that's going to be a small number in comparison to the heathen, which the heathen and also the 2/3 of Israel who are going to be destroyed. They're not going to be saved. They're not going to have salvation, right? So that's what it is. That's the understanding here when we get 2 Timothy 2:20. Let's read it again. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and of some to honor and some to dishonor. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. All right, so you got to purge yourself away from the world, man. Like we read earlier, it said, what was it? Let me see. The affairs of that verse I read was something about the affairs of this world. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it was verse 4. Let me go back to it. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier, right? So really purging yourself, getting away from the uselessness, getting away from these heathen, getting away from the 2/3 who are just, they're just going to bring you down, man. And I'm not saying, you might spend time, around heathen or whatever. Obviously we're here in this captivity, so we're going to be around the heathen. And when I say heathen, I'm including the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, the dross of Israel, the useless ones of Israel, the vain persons of Israel, of our own people, right? So you're 100% going to have to be around them. But if you can separate yourself from the heathen and the 2/3, it's more admirable. I mean, for lack of better words, because you're gonna, because like I said, you hang around the heathen, you hang around the 2/3, you're gonna catch yourself in these vain conversations, right? In babblings, vain babblings, like we read, right? So let's read verse 22. Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace, and them that call on Yahweh out of a pure heart. But foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strifes. Right, and if you avoid the heathen and the 2/3, you're going to avoid these type of things, all right? But the more you're around, you're around the heathen, the 2/3, guess what? You're going to be subject to dealing with vain conversations, vain babblings, questions that are you could avoid it, Verse 24. And the servant of Yahweh must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach and patient. Right, and really, yeah, you always have to have an answer ready, right? Because if the topic comes up, yeah, you have to know what you're a part of. You have to be able to answer, and you have to answer soundly. It doesn't matter, even if it's a heathen. You tell them why you have this faith, and move on. You're not going to sit there and teach a heathen, but you're going to be. There's times when like when vocab bum rushed our elders. Our elders, at first they weren't even trying. They were trying to just avoid him altogether. They ended up dealing with him to an extent, but they had the answers, and that's how we are. We liken ourselves unto Yahweh Shai first and foremost, and then our elders are testaments and pillars of strength in this truth, right? So we also walk in as our examples, Verse 25, in meekness instructing those that oppose themselves, if the Most High peradventure will give them repentance to the knowledge of the truth. So if there is a meek person and they're sincere and they're wanting and asking questions and hey, then that's okay. Maybe that's a person of the elect. Perhaps that's an elect member, and you can, if they're going to acknowledge the truth, then hey, that's what it is. That's what this thing is all about. We're here to seal the elect. But the majority of the elect sealing is going to come through the sincere people who are watching, sincere Israelites who are watching the videos, who may come to the camp and show respect, show they salute you, they tell you they believe, they go home, they do their own research. The majority of these people, though, don't get it twisted. They're going to just use us as entertainment, and the majority of these people are going to be vain people that we need to purge ourselves away from, really. And the Spirit will do the deciphering. So that's what it is. You just got to stay in the Spirit. Verse 26, and I'll close out on this. It says, and that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. Right? So the majority of the people are going to fall into that trap of the devil, which is, all these different religions, all these different doctrines. They're not sincere. They're not. Hey, but like I say, the Spirit will decipher and edit them out of the picture, if you will. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out on that. I hope the lesson was edifying. And I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors goes out to the other apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge Alakiam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom. Keep enduring, brothers.